Part 2 starts the cooking process. Last night, I actually showed you how to trim the St. Louis cut out of the spare ribs. Now I'm going to show you how I like to season them from time to time. I don't do it every time, but this is something I want to show you just in case you want to try it and you can see it if it's something you like to do. So what I'm going to do, without further ado, is I'm going to slather these ribs with some good old-fashioned yellow mustard, great value. You don't need the expensive stuff. So I got a gloved hand and I got a clean hand. Gloved hand, I'm gonna use that to slather and pat in the seasonings. Just a little bit of mustard. And typically, I don't always use mustard as a slather. I don't always do it, but I wanna show you, you can do it. Doesn't make a taste difference really, but it does help the actual seasoning rub, whatever you want to call it, to adhere to the meat. With my clean hand, I'm gonna do a two-layer application. First layer, today I'm gonna use some of this Wright's Barbecue Original. Got this when I was back at home in good old Stuttgart, Arkansas, about a week ago. And I never used it till that day, and I kind of liked it, so I'm gonna put this on. It's got a little salt, a little pepper, a little garlic. So this is your savory level, I would say. You don't have to go too heavy. Just enough to get it on there. All right, got that on there. This is I'm telling you, one of my favorites out there. Killer Hogs, the barbecue rub, gives you some beautiful color. I'm gonna tell you this, anything you can get from Malcolm Reed, Matt Pittman, Chud, is gonna be pretty good. So, just gonna give that a little application where you don't see the mustard as much. And it's on there. So here we go. Move that out the way so you can see it. First I applied the mustard, then I applied the Wright's, and then I moved on to the Killer Hogs, the barbecue rub. Now I'm gonna flip and do the same. Just a little handy dandy mustard, great value. Because I know your mammy ain't gonna let you spend a whole bunch of money on no mustard to put on no ribs. I know y'all mammies. They somewhere right now mad that I'm doing it. I don't mean no harm. Yeah, it'll be all right though. So, got the mustard on there. Next, I'm gonna do the Wright's. Said a little salt, pepper, garlic, a few other things in here. Got this at Walmart. In my good old hometown of Stuttgart, USA, aka Sugartown, USA. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Where I got it from. All right, got a little light application of that. And then we're going to finish it off, like I said, with one of my favorites, Killer Hogs, the barbecue blend. That man said the, not a. Not some, but the. It's it. That's what you get. I like it. The hot is really good, but you gotta be careful if you got people who can't handle spices, because it is hot. It's got a good taste to it. So for right now, I'm gonna let this adhere for about 10-15 minutes. Next time you see me, I'll be out at the smoker putting these ribs on, and I'll probably even go ahead and season the tips that I cut off of these yesterday in the same manner and put them on the smoker with them. And we're gonna have a good day. Tell your mammies I said hi and goodbye. All right, now we got everything all seasoned up. I went ahead and did the tips the same manner as I did the St. Louis cut that I cut out of the spare. And we're gonna load it up on this here smoker. It's coming up temp. I opened it a while ago, so it was already at about 250. And so I'm gonna open it up and we're gonna start putting this stuff in here. All right, as you can see, already got some stuff on here. That's a mock tender that I got from Porter Road. Turkey breast that I sliced off of the bone myself, and some of those little nuggets, I cut them off. And what's good about those is you could taste them before the big pieces finish up. So let me get these ribs loaded on here. One-man gang right now. I get some production money. Ooh, whizzle. All right, get your ribs on there straight, because they're gonna cook. And if you put them in there sideways or kind of catty-cornered or whatever you want to call it, the bones are gonna be crooked, and you don't want that. So, get these tips on here. I typically like to keep the tips pretty close to the fire so they can cook faster. They're gonna cook faster anyway, but the same thing, I wrap them up. I let them cook a little faster so I can, like with those little nuggets, I can taste where the flavor is, profile is going. So right now I got the ribs and the tips loaded up along with some turkey and the beef tenderloin, but for this video purpose, the big thing is gonna be the ribs. All right, throughout this cook, I'm gonna spritz. I'm gonna probably let it go about an hour and a half, 2 hours before I spritz. I want them to look almost dry. So when I apply my spritz, which I'll explain to you what's in it, some of what's in it anyway, when we get to that point, it'll keep those ribs absorbing some smoke. I'm rocking with a little bit of cherry, a piece of birch, and a couple of chunks of mesquite. Make it do what it does, cuz. All right, let's see what we got going. Had a little rainy rain, so we had to throw up the old tinny tent, or the old, whatever you want to call it, almost tent. Checked it in here a couple of minutes ago, so the temperature's not all the way back up, but this is what we got going. So I'm at the point where I need to touch it, and if it doesn't come off on my finger, we can spritz. Look at my little turkey pieces over here. I'm gonna give it probably about another 20-30 minutes, and then I'll come back and spritz. Yeah. All right, party people, now it's about that time to get down with the spritz. Gonna get down with the spritzity spritz. We're gonna see what it is. I'm replacing the gasket on the firebox, so right now until I put the new gasket in, I just use that to weigh it down. I scraped out the old gasket because it was garbage. All right, that's what we got. Some of this stuff, that's turkey breast. I already took the tenderloin off, but that's not the purpose of this cook. This is all about the ribs and partially about the tips. So let me show you what we got. That, my friends, are the St. Louis cut that I cut out of the spare, and now it's to the point where it's not rubbing off on my finger, so I'm gonna spritz. The spritz, I talked about it earlier. The spritz I'm gonna use today. Well, first of all, common spritzes that people use are apple cider vinegar and water. Sometimes you use a little apple juice and water, or just apple juice, Worcestershire sauce and water, or just Worcestershire sauce. And one of my favorites is actually Big Red soda. You can use that. This is a mixture of some juice, a little bit of water, a little bit of something else. Yeah, I ain't gonna tell you what that else is, but you can kind of play with it. Citrus juices work, orange juice, a little lemon juice, little lime juice. So now I'm gonna go ahead and spritz for y'all. Spritz, keep it moist so the outside of the meat doesn't get all super overly dark overly hard, overly crunchy. That's what we're doing. My camera work is shoddy because I'm out here by myself. I need an assistant. But so that's what we're doing. We're spritzing the ribs and the tips. And next time you see me, I'll be coming out here to check on them. I think I'm not gonna wrap these. Sometimes I wrap, sometimes I don't. I'm gonna take these all the way through. When you don't wrap, you get more of a smoky flavor. So I'm gonna take them all the way through. Shouldn't take too long. And when I get close to the end, that's when I'll sauce them. And then if need be, I'll come out here and spritz about once every 40-45 minutes. Yeah. All right, back at it, party people. Got my tent up, you know. Mother Nature tried to spit on me. It's all good, it's all gravy. I was born and raised in the Navy. You heard me? Anyway, got the tips wrapped up. Let's look at these sandwiches out here. They are smoking along, looking good, looking good. Gonna spritz them. Actually, no, I'm gonna flip them over for about 30 minutes or so. And then by that time, I'll be on that end of the road. So I'll just show you what I got on here. Turkey breast, beef riblets, meatloaf. This is for a patty pack that I have someone coming to get tomorrow. This is the main attraction, the St. Louis cut that I cut from the spare last night. Those are the tips that came with it. And we're gonna make it do what it does. I'm gonna get out this rain, out this little water, and we're gonna see what it looks like when it's time to get them ready to wrap up. So the bones are starting to protrude a little bit, so it's getting there. I'm gonna sauce and gloss them. We don't do no thick sauce over here. That ain't what we do. You know who do it. It starts with an M and ends with a but I ain't gonna talk about them. Yeah, well, it's time to check on these old ribs. I'm pretty sure it's time to flip them over. See what we got here, the 2 meatloafs and the beef riblets for the patty pack for tomorrow. The rib tips that are wrapped up. Let's look at these ribs here. Back, let me pull my thingamajiggy out there. Pull out my thingamajiggy. The bones are starting to protrude. It's almost time to be done. But I got to sauce and gloss these things. It's gonna be a patty concoction. That's how I like them. Look. That's right. Pick them up, starting to flex, and it's time to sauce and gloss these things. So I'm gonna do that. So had the ribs on for a little while, started them out meat side up, then I flipped them over meat side down. Now I'm gonna gloss them. Get a little dusty. Flies out here don't care about your soul, you hear me? Got my little sauce here. I just took some barbecue sauce, a little agave nectar, a little hot sauce, and some rub. Threw it together. So the agave nectar or even honey, syrup, anything like that, it's gonna thin your sauce out. Cause I don't do thick sauce. I ain't gonna tell you who does it. I've been saying it all day. I ain't gonna run it in the ground. But you know who do it. It almost sounds like Miami, but it ain't Miami. It's your mammy. I said I wasn't gonna say it. Good move. So I'm gonna let this sauce set. One of these here St. Louis cut by Patty Wayne. Didn't buy them. Cut them myself. And really, this rib is ready to go. I like to let the sauce set, and then I actually throw a little rub over the top. Get them bones. Get them bones. Yeah. There you go. I'll see you in a few. All right, party people. We are at the grand finale for the ribs. Got these beef riblets for a pat on the back. 2 meatloafs for a pat on the back for tomorrow. But the main attraction of these, there are ribs right there. I'm gonna take them off. Gonna let them rest. And then we're gonna finish up this video. Chill. The magic of time. You know, this all happened in a couple of minutes, but it really took all day between rain and all that good stuff. Anyway, this is what we got. We got the St. Louis cut rib, and it's, like I said, the same thing you get at the grocery store, but you pay an arm and a leg for. And I got all the tips, all the other meat, rib tip meat, and I got to keep it. The grocery store, they can sell you this, and this is what you get. So you can either buy the full spare like I do, or you can buy the St. Louis cut. There's reasons why anybody would do it. I'd do it if I just wanted to have something quick and ready to go. And the money didn't, the price didn't bother me. So what it's gonna do now is I'm gonna let this rest for a little bit, and then I'm gonna flip them over, slice, make sure I don't hit those bones, and then I'm gonna plate them, and I will not be eating these ribs. I'm giving these ribs to somebody else to put them to use. I'm doing a little workout plan that won't allow me to eat these ribs right now. But it was fun doing it. So see you when it's time to chop them up and get ready to get them out of here. Now it's time for the moment of truth. Done everything we needed to do. Started off yesterday by taking a full spare, trimming it down to a St. Louis cut. This morning I took that St. Louis cut and the tips and I seasoned them with a savory rub and a barbecue rub. Then I put them on the smoker and let them rock and roll for about an hour and a half, spritzing about once every 45 minutes after that. From there I flipped them over and let them cook meat side down. Then I flipped them back over, sauced and glossed them, and let the sauce set. And now we're here to the slicing. All right, I'll go between these bones. Sometimes it's hard to navigate the bones. They're not always gonna be straight. Go through them like that. Yeah. You can tilt them. All right, let's flip them over. Give you that good shot. And we have it. See them? Do you see them? Yeah, they're right there. Yeah, that's them right there. St. Louis cut from the spare by your boy. Like I always say, I'm gonna make it do what it does so you can make it do what it does when it's your turn.